marine park bill and how does it affect the reef tour operators?
But to be honest, nobody knows about the marine park bill. It's like the biggest secret in Tobago at this moment. And it's very controversial because people do not know which one of the bills we're actually talking about. And we do not, I do not support it because in 2020, when it was proposed, they came to us and it wasn't like they came to that we could have our input. They just came to us and said, this is how things is going to work from today. From today on, this is how things going to work around here. And we object to that. We said that we want to have a cordial relationship where we can have our inputs. And we haven't heard from the authorities after that. So when I'm shocked to hear that it's actually a bill out here because none of the stakeholders, none of the users of the park are aware of any such bill. And now we have so much young entrepreneurs in the tourism facilities at this present time that they're fully unaware of what is taking place. So we are calling on the parliamentarians to consider that if the bill could set back to Tobago so it could have proper consultation, that all stakeholders could have an input, could voice their opinions, right? Because in the first, one of our first objections was people didn't know what was the fees to issue the permits, right? The question was asked, what are the fees? What will the fees cost? And we didn't get an answer. Then they talk about fines, that they want to implement fines. And at that point in time, the fines we said was way too high. Now we are hearing the fines are way much higher. And we object to the fines even in 2020. So what we are actually coming out to the parliamentarians, to the Prime Minister, whoever with this bill will be going before, that the bills lack consultation.
The Chief Secretary painted a picture of our industry operating lawless, chaotic, overcrowded boats going on the marine park without permission in the night, boats even sinking at times. Do you agree with that general assessment of how you all have been operating?
I totally disagree with that. Because if he was breaking the law, then the police do the job, right? What I'm saying is that in the industry, the tourism industry has grown. We have bigger boats, and we have called on the Chief Secretary on numerous occasions to come to have sit down with us in ways that how we could collab, because we are seeing that we have more shareholders in the bookery space, right? So we was calling the Chief Secretary that we could share our point of views in how we could share this space together, how we could work on safety, because we had certain incidents where it doesn't say of anyone's fault. Accidents will happen. If it's boats or planes or vehicles, accidents will happen. So we was calling the Chief Secretary that if they could have a bigger presence in the bookery space, and we saw none. All we are hearing was like excuses that the boat is not functioning, the boat have no gas, and the big question we've been asking, where is reef patrol? Where are the boats? We had in the past we had like several boats. I can't give their name, but there are several boats used to be operating in the bookery space, and the authorities have dropped the ball when it comes to doing their responsibilities. Now they are saying now they cannot do all they have is power of responsibilities and not authority, which they are actually playing word games with the people. They have the responsibility to carry out their duties, but because of a lack of, they are not doing their responsibility, there's an absence of the presence of the authorities in the bookery space, which leads to chaotically things happening, which leads to, like, if an accident happens, there's no emergency services, and all will be asking the authorities to have a greater presence when it comes to safety in the marine park.
You mentioned the patrol, but obviously the stakeholders can, in a certain sense, police themselves. Have some stakeholders, particularly jet ski operators been acting a bit low?
No, I wouldn't. What happened in the, it's very unfortunate. I have to say condolences to the Angelica Jody family, for what happened. In the industry, right, we have jet skiing been part of this marine park from existence. These jet skis have been operating here for many years, accident free. And what you've been calling on the authorities is that we need to have the demarcation properly lit, right? Because the captains have been complaining that when we go to the Boca Reef area, the buoys, there's not proper buoys out there. The buoys have been burst away and they haven't been replaced for years. So it used to be like an obstacle course. When you come, you could highlight, okay, this is in the island pool area, jet skis are not allowed in there. They know that the coral garden is also demarcated. But since the buoys have been burst away, no, the authorities haven't replaced them, right? Even the incident happened at Peter Point. If you look at the condition of the ropes and the condition of the demarcation area, right? All I'm saying is that we have all the rules and we have all the regulations, we have all the demarcations here, but it's failure of the authorities actually to maintain these physical structures that leads to chaotic behavior in the park, right? So what I'm actually saying is that the Boca Reef area, the jet skis were here operating alongside us, the glass bottom boats were here, it's still here. We have the tiki craft, we have all these different entities operating in this space safely, but the only entity is absent is the authorities. The authorities been absent for many years, and the question I'm asking myself, why? We made several calls for the authorities' presence in the Boca Reef space, right? Because many emergencies happens, and the same jet skis we have to use for emergencies. Now everybody's talking about the bad that the jet ski did, but right, the jet ski operator did, but nobody's talking about the goods, because you know why? There's no data, right? There's no data, and there's no data on the service providers, and there's no data on the authority side as well. Because I remember as a young guy when I started off being a captain in the Boca Reef, the fisheries had 2 reef patrol officers present before the boats were loaded, and they will do the safety check, right? And they will do the customers, how much passengers, and the boat was not allowed to leave unless they get the okay from the fisheries officers and the jet skis officers. Everybody was in line. But these guys, the profession is still there. These guys are still getting paid, but they're not doing the job. So this failure is come from the authorities. Okay?
Thank you.